Hi, my name is Valerie Huerta, and I'm starting this maybe short-lived video diary to talk about gender identity, because I realize I don't have many friends besides my girlfriend who I'm totally comfortable talking to about something that's filled with uncertainty. And I'm sure that I have friends who would love to talk with me about it, but I'm not comfortable yet. And even as I'm speaking, and there's no one in the room besides myself, I still feel very much in an uncomfortable spotlight. So, I think about gender every day because it's an ambivalent thing for me. I feel like I'm standing on two sides between sort of a constructed binary that exists in our world and this kind of nebulous mix of girl and boy and hopefully infinite other gender identities. A world that I can't perceive or that doesn't exist. Many people identify as queer, or maybe a third gender, or either or both, and none of those things suit me, and I think lots of people probably feel that way. But I'm interested in just exploring the nebulous nature of it all. So, on most days, I feel like a boy who is feminine, but mostly just interested in beautiful, colorful, artistic things and emotions. And it's strange because I guess, in a way, emotions play a lot into my gender identity, or just my general construction of myself. I had bipolar disorder, and I didn't know that until this past summer, and I wasn't totally surprised. I was surprised to have a label for the way I feel and live my life. But it became a comfort because even though it's sort of a maybe medical construct and it's hard to understand the neurology of it, it's still comfort to have a label, and that is what I'm dealing with as far as gender. With bipolar disorder, the way I deal with it is I take medication, and that stabilizes me, and it helps a million, because right before I was at that threshold of I need to go to a doctor, I was on my commute to work every day. I was so anxious about my work day that I would start crying and I would have panic attacks. So my doctor diagnosed me with depression, and when I took my medication, I had a really bizarre reaction. I almost had, well, I took it at night, and then I woke up in the middle of the night feeling like manically dazed. I couldn't sleep. I felt strange. I think it was almost a mini psychosis. I was mildly hallucinating, and I knew I was off. I felt a little like I had just come out of a dream, but I couldn't shake off the hypnagogy. And I called my doctor, and she thought that was bizarre, and she later told me that was the most extreme reaction that she's heard of to an SSRI. So then she gave me a questionnaire, and I marked off almost all of the boxes, and she realized I probably had bipolar disorder. And a couple of medications later, I was put on an anticonvulsant, and that helped a lot. So that's where I am with my bipolar disorder. But what I wanted to say when I went into a tangent is that my emotions play a big part into my identity, because I still feel the remnants of cycles. Most of the time I'm at a sort of level depression, and occasionally I have hypomania, and I can tell because I have a really strong sense of self. I feel happy about who I am. I write a lot, I listen to a lot of music, and I exercise more than usual because I have all this energy. It sort of bothers me that it sort of bothers me that my happiness may not be genuine and more chemical. But I guess there's not much of a that's pretty gray. That of course happiness is chemical no matter what. But what I also wanted to say is that I get sad, and sometimes I hit a pretty low bottom of my sadness. And the way I deal with it is I walk around and I explore it. I listen to sad music, and through that feels really cathartic. Or I write. When I'm both hypomanic and when I'm sort of depressed, I write. And so I always feel like I'm never one thing or one person. My whole identity feels like a cloud, and I don't talk about it to my family because I don't even feel comfortable talking about it. I don't even feel comfortable saying that I'm gay, or I have a girlfriend, or bringing my girlfriend on holidays, because of things they've said. Like my mother, behind my back, will tell my siblings she wished I had a boyfriend. And in another case, when I would dress more like a boy, bind my breast, my family would make remarks and just express distaste for it. So it's hard. It's hard. I feel like I am very discreetly gay and very discreetly genderqueer. And I feel like there is a culture of needing to be proud of who you are, and that's a sort of activism in itself. Presenting yourself to the world as your genuine self. And I benefit from that. I see people being true to themselves, and it helps me just smile and feel okay with me. But I haven't reached a point where I can get there. So I wanted to be able to reach sort of identity, to ground it, although I don't really feel like I can. But I wanted to try. I see pictures of Taylor Hanson, are like Harry Styles with their long hair and their masculine body and their prettiness, and that's what I want. And I suppose that comes from it being a girl, growing up as a girl. Prettiness is the ultimate. It's more important than intelligence or maybe physical prowess. Being pretty is so important, and I never really felt that way. So I still carry that, and if I were to ever transition, I would still probably think physical beauty is really important, although I know that I don't want to feel that way. That there are other things to value more greatly, like kindness. Um, so, so I've considered many times taking hormones, but the thought of doing this around my family, even around my girlfriend who accepts me more than anyone, is terrifying. I have this fantasy of sort of running away into wilderness and jungle and woods where no one can see me and I'm living like Robinson Crusoe, but I'm transitioning and I can be sort of wild and male with no one watching me. And through all of this, I'm not certain at all that I am sort of genuinely trans. It's almost like I'm not enough. I'm not certain enough to deserve to be trans. It's really similar to when I was a teenager and I went to an art school where there are so many out and seemingly proud students who were vocal about their sexuality, and I felt like I couldn't have been gay because I wasn't like them. I didn't think I deserved to be gay, to like girls, but eventually it was obvious to me, and I wonder if being male or just different, not a girl, will sort of bloom and be clear. And that's all I wanted to say.